Yo, what's up guys, it's Kane and Aiden here. We're back today with another video. This is kind of our first official video. But as some of you may know, we have a podcast called The Kane and Aiden Show where we talk about NBA news, topics, discussions. And today we're going to take you a little bit of behind the scenes of our podcast, kind of how we get set up, where we record and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and show you. So what we do is normally we have a few different places that we record at. So normally we would record in here in this room, just sitting, right here on this desk.
But as you can tell, it's occupied, right?
It's occupied. Someone else is working there. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna come on here into Mr. Aiden Church's room right here.
Right here.
We have a little setup going right here. So we're gonna take you guys behind the scenes of an episode for us. Alright guys, so this is where we record our podcast at, and we're going to show you our kind of setup. So we record off of this laptop right here, and we just click the button recording, and it records through the microphone clearly. And then this is how we have it set up for our podcast. So we have a folder that we share with all our stuff. These are our ideas, series that we've done, our live shows on our Instagram.
Instagram posts,
all
kinds of stuff.
And stuff like that. And so we do notes for each episode of what we're going to talk about. So if you can see right here, we're going to talk about the bubble, snitch hotline, the biggest takeaways from the scrimmages, the positive tests that have been done, and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk about that kind of stuff in this episode. So we're gonna give you guys about a 3 to 5 minute sneak peek of the episode, so you guys will see it before anyone else does. If you watch our YouTube videos, you'll be able to see it before anyone does. And if there's any bloopers that happen, you'll be able to catch those too, because we do have some bloopers. So.
Yeah, we will mess up a lot, so just bear with us as we try to record this.
Yeah.
All right,
here we go.
Let's get ready.
Let's do it. All right.
So generally, we kind of go over the notes a little bit before we start.
So we're gonna talk about
players following the rules, snitch hotline. What do you think of the hotline? Good or bad ideas? Should players deal with the bubble? 0 positive tests.
Biggest takeaway. So
biggest takeaways from scrimmages. Bobo breakout. James Harden looked a lot faster. Small ball versus tall ball. So.
Okay, so I think we're ready.
All right.
So now we start recording.
You're starting off?
Yeah, I'll start. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So guys, this does happen a lot. Every time we start recording, we usually laugh for some reason. It's just like it's like a tradition right now.
Yeah.
But then by a few times we get it. So all right, 3, 2, 1, go. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's the Kane and Aiden Show here today, back with another episode. Finally, episode number 19. So we haven't been able to record an episode for a while. I think we attempted at doing one over the phone, but it just didn't sound the same. It didn't sound as clean.
And if you're curious to why we didn't put out episodes, you can go check out the YouTube Kane and Aiden. We got a full explanation of what happened.
We're currently filming a video right now behind the scenes of the podcast, so you can get sneak peeks and stuff like that. We're gonna play some challenges, games. We posted our first video yesterday, so well, whenever this goes.
So make sure to look out for our channel, because it's a lot. We're already having a lot of fun with it.
Kane and Aiden. So on this episode, we're as you guys know, not a lot has been happening within the bubble. Just players have been practicing. There's been scrimmage games. Today we're going to go over everything related to the bubble, what we think about the bubble, because we had a long layoff of time that we weren't able to hang out. We weren't able to get episode for you guys. So we're going to talk about what we think about the bubble, everything that goes into it, So, but first we just want to say, everyone keep staying safe, because, the Rona is still out there, obviously.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's a joke or it's over now, but, it's not. It's still...
Yeah, it's still live, so be careful out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we're going to start off first talking about players, our opinion on players not following the rules. Yeah. So I'm very annoyed by this, because I've been seeing Dwight Howard like, oh, I don't want to wear a mask, or people leaving the bubble, or not even leaving the bubble, just not following rules, precautions. And that just annoys me, because as a fan of the NBA, I really want this to work out.
We want to see them play. We want them to come back. And if these players aren't following the rules, then... it's not going to work. They're not just going to be able to come back, oh, no one's following the rules. And I mean, the rules, they're intense, but it's not like, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to do this. It's not like they're...
We got to take precautions. So I think they're necessary.
If the players aren't doing that, it's like we're not going to have a season. It's like how bad do the players want to play? Because Dwight Howard, I don't understand why I have to wear a mask. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it's inconvenient, and no one really wants to wear a mask when you go out.
But just wear it.
But just wear it until you play. It's not like they're making you play in it and wear it in practice. Like, some of the MLB players for baseball, they're currently playing in masks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you don't even have to play in it or anything like that. Like, just wear it, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dwight Howard, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but at the same time, I am trying to throw you under the bus. Like, just wear the mask. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So another thing we'll talk about too is our opinion on the snitch hotline.
Because a lot of players have been saying that the snitch hotline is not good. It's not a bad idea. I ain't no snitch, something like that. But I think that it is a good idea because let's say someone is doing something that's not good for it and gets shut down, and then someone snitches on it and they say that to the player that's not doing that, then it can get shut down easier than someone still doing it and then it's shutting down the whole league.
But I think the people that are getting mad about there being a hotline to snitch on other people, those are the people that are breaking the rules.
Yeah.
So if you don't break the rules, then you're not gonna get snitched on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you're a bunch of grown men. You know what I mean? They're not like school kids. Like, oh, he touched me or he, I don't know, chewed gum in class. You know what I mean? They're not a bunch of kids. They're not gonna snitch just to snitch.
Yeah.
So I would say just take the precautions, and I guarantee you're not gonna get snitched on. Or get told on.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
It's for safety too.
It's for safety purposes only. I don't see why the players are making a huge deal. And I'm not saying that every player is making a big deal out of it, but we have heard some players saying, "Oh, I don't like it."
Which you got to just, in my opinion, just like be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's gotta happen.
No doubt.
Because if you have no one enforcing it, then nothing's ever gonna get done.
Mm-hmm. And it's just gonna shut down the league again if you guys. If you don't follow the rules, it's just like, dude, follow the rules, you won't get snitched on. The snitch hotline is necessary.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure there's very few calls into it. Like, I'm sure there's not buzzing the phones or blowing up over snitch hotline calls.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that there's very few calls that are going into the snitch hotline because people don't, some people just don't like to snitch and most people follow the rules.
Yeah.
So I just don't think there's a lot of, there's probably not a lot of people that are calling into the snitch hotline.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think that it's a good idea because, like, I don't want people to get sick because
and the league gets shut down.
If the league gets shut down, then we're gonna look at this in 10 years and be like, well, that was a failure.
Yeah,
why can't we
want that?
I want to be able to look back at this and be like, wow, I can't believe they came up with something so crazy and it actually worked.
Yeah,
I don't want to see this as a failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like looked on bad like the Malice at the Palace. You know what I mean? I want this to be something that is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the snitch hotline is absolutely necessary in order for it to keep going, and I think that certain players are making a big deal out of it, but players are always making a big deal out of stuff. Like, you've seen the food, like, players are making a huge deal out of the food, but I guarantee that was just for, like, quarantine or something like that. I think the food is probably different now.
Yeah, I don't really get the food, like, well, they're all used to eating, like, luxury food. So
but they're not going to give you unedible stuff. Like,
yeah, you're not going to die.
Have to,
I don't, someone's like, oh, I didn't get a fork. Like,
I mean, at least they don't slide Lunchables through your door.
Like some lunch ladies, Sloppy Joe, and, like, there's that pizza that no one really likes. And they don't give you nachos that just have like cheese on them, like like you're still getting whole cooked meals. Like you're not gonna die, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And you might be getting takeout, you know what I mean? I don't think it's that big of a deal.
So now we're gonna talk about players leaving the bubble. So a lot of players have been leaving the bubble due to family issues, and then some players you've heard accidentally left the bubble. Like some players accidentally left the bubble because they went to pick up food. Did you hear about that, Aiden?
I don't know, that's just dumb. How do you
some players
leave the bubble?
There was a few players that went to pick up food and they accidentally left the bubble, but driving to pick it up, I guess, but they didn't know that they were leaving the bubble. Mm-hmm. So they accidentally left, I would assume. Because so I don't know, but I think there's a lot of people on Twitter talking about how even if the players are leaving for family issues and they shouldn't be able to leave for that.
I think if they leave for family issues, you gotta make sure that they don't go anywhere outside of that. But there's not really a way to make sure they don't.
Yeah, there really isn't. So it's like you can't say, the NBA, they cannot say, oh, you can't go see your family, how dare you.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't.
But how many people have said they've had family issues?
Zion, Montrezl Harrell, Pat Bev, Lou Will, a lot of people have.
But how many? But these guys could just be wanting to get out of there too.
I mean, we don't know their situation, so we're not going to say.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to say like it's somebody.
We're not going to say they are or they aren't doing that, but I think players should absolutely be allowed to leave for family issues. I mean, if they need to go attend to their families, then that's what they need to do. They have to do what they got to do. They have lives outside of basketball. And I think some of these sports analysts and some people get so stuck up in the fact that these players play basketball when that's not like they're normal people, Like I just think like the basketball, at the end of the day, basketball is not that important to what these players are doing. Like, So I think people just need to realize that it's not that big of a deal, because you would imagine you being locked in there for like 3 months,
Yeah.
and you can't leave. You're just stuck there. So like it's just like these analysts are, how dare they leave the bubble? Like, dude, you don't know their situations.
Yeah, I get that. But I want to talk about something too. The most recent testing for the bubble, there was 0 positive tests.
So that shows that it's working, and that's what they need it to be at 0. They can't have 1 test.
But let's keep it that way. You know what I mean? So
It's
that means
because-
let's not go out. Lou will.
And some people have gone out and they've came back and it's worked, 0 tests within. And I think that's really good. That's exactly what they wanted it to be, and that's where it needs to be for games to resume. And I don't think games should resume unless they have 0 positive tests, clearly. And you've seen the scrimmages. Me and Aiden haven't really been watching the scrimmages a whole lot, just because I don't know. We just we have other things to do than watch basketball scrimmages games that don't even count.
I mean, I'm gonna be watching the NBA game, the real games, all the time. I'm just not watching scrimmages right now because we've been doing work outside of it and stuff like that.
Sure. Trying to get these YouTube videos and stuff ready for you guys. But the scrimmages, I mean, they're not a huge deal. We're just going to talk about, we did want to talk about the things that created the most buzz for the scrimmages. Bull. He has been breaking out recently. In his last game, he put up 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. So what do you think about his performance so far, Aiden?
I mean, I think he's been really good. I don't really know how many minutes he's been playing, but I mean, I've definitely been impressed with his blocks because, I mean,
he shot some threes,
he's jumping high, dude.
He's
like,
blocking. He's shooting threes, too. Like, I think, like, Bull, he has potential to be one of the steals in the draft, but I don't think people need to overreact just yet, because I've seen, like, at least 5 things on, like, ESPN. Like, oh, my gosh, Bull's the new star because he did good in 2 scrimmage games.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to wait and see what he does in the playoffs.
Alright, guys, so we just finished recording our episode. You got a little sneak peek of it, but it was a lot of fun to record. If you want to listen to the full thing, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many more.
Wherever you get your podcast. So we just have to make some final little cuts to the episode, clip some things, and, that is it. But, it doesn't, it's not too crazy, and we enjoy doing the podcast. It's super fun. It's just us having the conversation. So that's going to do it for the Kane and Aiden, not the Kane and Aiden show.
Alright, that's 2 episodes in a row we got it wrong.
2 in a row. So this is Kane and Aiden signing off.